Hello everyone, let's talk about a new topic about spot instances, right? Let's just first review the slides on that and then we'll talk about how to launch spot instances on EC2 or Amazon AWS. Okay. Spot instances is something that it is very similar to a bid concept that eBay has. Uh, Amazon, it allows you to bid on a spare Amazon EC2 computing capacity. Now let's just take the example over here. If I have a data center and I have close to like 200 EC2 instances with 300 CPUs and 650 GB RAM. Now I am not going to use that much capacity at all time. So what I can do is I can start giving Microsoft that, hey, I am willing to share this additional capacity that I have, computing power and memory to some other person or to some other company so that they can bid on this available resources and they can, whoever gets the maximum bid should get my resources. So it allows you to operate it onto that model. It is available at a much discounted price as compared to on demand. Let us look at it, how much on demand prices are first. Okay, so let me just pull that chart out. Okay. Just take a look at this chart that you guys see it here. Yeah. Just take a look at this chart and go through the see on demand pricing. Just go to EC2 and pricing. Go to Windows and just check for the pricing. This is, we are just talking about EC2 or East region, and you guys can see the prices for T2 Nano. It is with this much memory, it is 0.0005 cents. But when I go to this type of a bigger instance, 10x large, it is close to $2. When I go to the 16x large, it is close to $4 or $3.5. Same thing, if I keep going on towards this R4 16x large, the cost is almost 4.256. Even for this one is for R4 8x large, it is 2.12. 4x large, it's again a dollar. So my point is the cost is very expensive for on demand. Now let's say you are running one analytic. That analytics need so much capacity. That means at a time you're gonna need 300 nodes for maybe a week. So you end up paying, if you go with this size of node, 16x large, $4.2. So let's just calculate and you guys will notice how much you have to pay for the total cost. So it is 24 hours. You need 300 nodes like this. Each node is going to cost you $4.5. So your cost for a week, it will be $32,000. Now, let's take a look at the spot pricing. And I'm going to show you how to look at the spot prices that's available right now. It reduces the cost of running application because spot prices will be at much cheaper level depending upon demand and supply model. So if you have a too much demand, the spot prices will spike, but if you have a less demand, the spot price will remain minimal. It enables you for a new type of computing world. Now just think about it. We have never believed in all these things. Whenever before 5 years ago, if we have to do any compute, we have to first purchase a server and then like load all the softwares onto it and then do all the computing part. Even in my career, I remember back in 2010 time period, we have to buy a cluster that was close to like $250,000, and it was probably similar to the door size that and 7 or 8 feet server, and it has a different racks installed on it. Now the computing capacity was still not compared to what computing capacity we get it today, right, with Amazon or with Microsoft cloud computing. So let's talk about how we are going to create a spot instance in this environment. So first of all, I want you to log in onto your EC2 console. Okay, so just log in over here. And as you guys notice, right now there is nothing that's running at this point. Okay, let's go ahead and create first of all a spot instance. So click on spot instance request. Let's look at first the pricing history for this. Okay. Now, as I mentioned, let's say we are interested in a Windows instance. Okay. And I want to get R4 16x large. For date range, I'm going to check the prices for 1 week. Now, just take a look at this price that we see on this one. These are all different availability zone. Even in a East region, you have servers available in 1A, 1B, 1C, 1D, and 1E. So you can bid across any region you want. So let's say we want to bid it on East 1D. So I'm gonna check last 1 day and see the prices for this one. As you guys notice, my on-demand price is close to $7.20, and my spot price is close to $3.60. So if I'm going to get 300 nodes for the on demand, let's calculate how much it's gonna for a 1 week. It will cost us 300 times 7.2 times 24. So it will cost you close to $51,000 for entire week. Now let's just do the calculation with this price. 3.51 times 24, okay, times 300. So this is our per day cost I'm talking about. This is not a 7 day cost, right? This is a per day cost. So if I multiply this by 7, it will cost us $171,000 for entire week. Now let's just calculate it for this one for entire week on demand. So 300 nodes times for 7 days times for 24 hours times for 7.20, that will be 362,000 if you go on demand, versus if you go with this spot one, you can save up to $181,000. Okay, that's how much you can save if you go with this spot one. Now the only challenge with the spot instances is if somebody put a higher bid, your instance will eventually go away. What does that mean? You, whatever compute node that you are using, remember in your cluster there are two types of node. One is a compute node and one is a data node. Now what will happen for compute nodes to work? It needs to access the data that is stored on data nodes. So you can keep all the data nodes as on demand so that it's available at all time, and whatever compute nodes are there that are doing the actual computing, you can make it as a spot. Now when somebody take away your spot instance, or everything that's running on that computer will be deleted. Even though your computation is in middle, it will be deleted for good. So that means it's gone, and you have to spin up Amazon. If you have an auto scale configured with this, Amazon will give you a new instance. Okay, let's look at this one more option, Linux. If we go with the Linux options, R4 16X large, look at the price that we have. The on-demand price is close to $4, whereas in the region it is available close to this much price. Now let's look at this time period, right? When you have a spike. So this is pretty flat, but at here, let me just do this. Let's just review this particular sample. So if you place a bid for $1 and some cents, maybe 1.30, you will keep the instances. But at this point, as the bid went higher to 1.45, you will lose all your instances. The reason is somebody else put a higher bid, saying that I am willing to pay a little bit more for this type of instances as compared, not just like $1. So your price went down, went up. Again, it went down, went down, went up, and here there is a constant spike at 150. So in this one, if your bid was less than 150, you would lose all your instances. Again, at this place, back to here, it will, if you have a bid for 130 or 127, you will still have all the instances. So that's the way Amazon model is working for spot instances. And let's just review another chart. So this is just for the pricing history. Let's look at a spot advisor thing. Okay. In case of spot advisor, you can ask what you want to run. You want to secure and maintain the capacity using the constant size to run your web services. If you want to run your map reducer job, that means the EMR job, or if you want to run a batch job. Let's say I want to just worry about the web services for now. I want at least 16 CPU and I want at least 240 GB RAM. I want it on a Linux platform. Anything is fine, and I'm willing to pay $50. So this is a recommended fleet that I get, right? This is what they call it as a spot fleet as well. So what will happen? You specify the price that I am willing to pay $50 per hour for this many CPUs, 16 CPUs, 240 GB RAM, and Linux. So that means on this case, you get this many instances, 64 CPUs, right? And just look at the different instance type that you have received. All right, so now, as you guys notice, for we can have a different, now if you just go ahead and change the Veep CPUs or virtual CPUs and just recommend a fleet, you will see all your instances would be a different type. So depending upon the availability zone also, your instance type is gonna be different based on what you specify it over here. And also let's just change the platform to Windows. Even for Windows, as you have noticed, it has changed, right? Estimated fleet price went up because Windows is not available for like $100, but it is 60% savings as compared to what you pay for on-demand prices. Okay, let's just say you are willing to pay $200. Same thing, estimated fleet price is 551. An amount required, that means how many instances you would need. In this case, you will get almost 200 instances for 1 hour, and you have to pay this estimated price.